What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. Back in my duffel. Let me get back in my duffel. Let me get back in my duffel. Let me get back in my bag. What's good, y'all? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Listen, y'all, I know the show the other day kind of had its own hiccups, and I know we had to end the show early on. What was that? Tuesday. We had to end the show early on Tuesday. I had some unforeseen circumstances come up, but everybody is good. Everybody is safe. Everybody is healthy. Everybody is awesome. I just had something unforeseen pop up that I had to address. I had to step out on, and I appreciate you guys for being humble about it, being gracious about it. Just being overall cool about it. So I appreciate y'all for always doubling back on the show. I appreciate y'all for having trust in me to deliver your daily Philadelphia Eagles sports talk. Can't be grateful enough. So I appreciate y'all. Before we get too deep into the content, because I do have a topic that I want to get into. I do want to get into with you guys. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to the content. You know, I was thinking to myself last night, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about how far the platform has come. I was thinking about how far we've come, right? As a community. You know, I remember the days when I only had about maybe one or two, maybe five people in the live stream at a given time. I remember that. I remember when it was a struggle just to keep 20 people in here. I remember when, you know, it was a struggle to get 50 likes or whatever it may be, right? I remember the days when I saw 50 people in the live stream, I used to get excited about that, right? But as you grow, as you mature, as you see bigger and better things, you want more for yourself, right? And I'm just grateful that I've been able to see so much of this platform grow, and I'm grateful that I've had a humble mindset and a go-getter's mindset throughout the whole process. You know, all I ever wanted to do when I made this show was just to talk sports, have fun while doing it, and let it be my bread and butter. You feel what I'm saying? And you guys have made that possible. So I appreciate y'all for locking in on the content each and every day. We've come a long way. A lot of you guys have been watching me since since Carson Wentz was here. A lot of y'all was watching me back in 2021, 2020, something like that. A lot of you guys have been locked in for a long time, man. Some of my OG subscribers, man, for sure. And y'all believed in me from the beginning. Some of y'all followed me over to the other platform where I was doing content for them. And now we're back here Chalking Up Sports, and we're doing great things. And your Philadelphia Eagles are 2-2. They are in their bye week. They're in their bye week, so we're not going to see any Philadelphia Eagles football until next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday. They're going to come back off the bye, playing against the Cleveland Browns, which is going to be a fun matchup to watch. Both quarterbacks going into that game have their own fair share of questions that they need to answer to their respective fan bases. Both quarterbacks are making buku chips. You feel what I'm saying? Both teams are talented, top to bottom. So that's going to be a fun matchup when we get to that. But let's stay in the present. Let's stay in the now. Right? You guys saw the thumbnail. You saw the tag. You saw the heading, the title, whatever it may be. You saw it. You guys pretty much have a general idea of what we're going to get into today. Today's topic of conversation is none other than Jalen Alexander Hurts, franchise quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles. What's interesting, right? I found myself thinking about how far Jalen Hurts has come in terms of his overall development as a quarterback. When he was drafted, 6'1", 220 pounds, around there. Born and raised in Houston, 26 years old currently, drafted in the 2020 NFL Draft, second-round pick. Nobody thought he would ever be where he is today. Nobody thought they would even have conversations about Jalen Hurts, right? It's so funny. We see a lot of people on national media being critical of Jalen Hurts, but I think they're critical of Jalen Hurts because they know how good he can be. They've seen it, right? But even beyond that, I'm critical of Jalen Hurts because I know how good he can be. We've seen it. And that brother works hard. That brother is committed to his craft, committed to his teammates. We know the quarterback Jalen Hurts was his rookie year. We know the quarterback Jalen Hurts was when he first became a starter in 2021. We remember that. We've seen Jalen Hurts go through these ebbs and flows of his career, but overall, Jalen Hurts has been a steady climber. He's been a late bloomer, if you ask me, right? Coming out of the draft, he wasn't as highly touted as Tua. He lost his job to Tua, remember? He wasn't highly touted like a Herbert or a Joe Burrow, not even Jordan Love, right? The only shocker about Jordan Love being drafted in the first round was the fact that he went to the Green Bay Packers. That was it. A lot of people had Jordan Love as a first-round pick. It was just a matter that the Green Bay Packers were the ones that drafted him when they had Aaron Rodgers. So that was a conversation, not necessarily Jordan Love's talent, but people knew Jordan Love had talent. But Jalen Hurts, out of all those guys that he was drafted with, those top 5 guys, Jalen Hurts was considered to be the weakest out of all those guys. He was considered to be the guy that he should probably change his position. At best, he'll be a backup in this league. He was that guy, right? But Jalen Hurts has graduated to a point where he's a franchise quarterback, a $50 million man. And he's had his ups and downs. He's had his ups and downs throughout this whole journey. Because again, and I'll say this, and I stand on this, I don't think this is a secret at all. I think everybody in the NFL is talented. Let's start there. Everybody in the NFL is talented. But there's levels to this. And if I'm being fair-minded and honest and objective, Jalen Hurts is not the most talented quarterback in the NFL. He's not. That's the reality. He's gotten to where he is because of hard work and commitment. Now, talent, he's been able to manifest that talent through the hard work. I'm not saying he doesn't have any skill. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we all watch a lot of football. Let's be honest. We all watch a lot of football. And not once have I said to myself, Jalen Hurts is the most talented quarterback in the NFL or top 5 most talented quarterback in the NFL. I don't think that. I don't. What I love about Jalen Hurts is how hard he's worked to get where he is. I respect that more than talent. I respect the fervor, the work ethic more than the talent. And I think Eagles fans, if we're being honest with ourselves, we know Jalen Hurts is not the most talented. He's not the most talented thrower. He's not the most gifted runner. We see it. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't have that God-given, like, Aaron Rodgers touched by an angel skill. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't have that. It's again, some people just come in with a certain talent base. Matthew Stafford is one of the most talented quarterbacks we've ever seen play the game. That's a fact. You feel what I'm saying? Joe Montana, John Elway. There are certain quarterbacks who've had to rise above their talent because of their hard work. Tom Brady, perfect example. Tom Brady is the perfect example of somebody who was not that talented coming in, but his work ethic, his mind, his brain, his understanding of the game was so elite. He had to work hard so his body can catch up to his mind. You feel what I'm saying? So bringing it back to Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts has been going through his fair share of struggles these past couple seasons. He's been dealing with turnover issues. He's been dealing with ineptitude at the coaching position. And so far this season, he's been dealing with, not him personally, but the offense has been dealing with injuries, ineptitude at the head coaching position. He's had like 4 or 5 different OCs over the past maybe 6 or 7 years. I mean, he's had a lot of different leaders. He's had a lot of different leadership being a quarterback, be it for Alabama, Oklahoma, Philadelphia. He's had to deal with a lot of different forms of leadership. The OCs, changes, and all that kind of stuff, the quarterback coaching turnover. He's had to deal with a lot of changes. And personally, I feel like it has had an effect on his overall development. But again, when you're in the NFL, you have to deal with turnover. You have to be able to balance that and handle that the best way you know how. It comes with the game. It's a business at the end of the day. When coaches do well, they get hired, to be a head coach. You feel what I'm saying? So it comes with the territory. And these past couple seasons, Jalen Hurts has had his fair share of struggles. And I think it's a combination of the coaching turnover. I think it's a combination of the league catching up with him. I think it's a combination of the Philadelphia Eagles, the coaching staff, not putting him in the best possible position to succeed. Now, the GM, Howie Roseman, has put Jalen Hurts in a tremendous position to succeed. Follow me here. I need you guys to compartmentalize here. I need you to follow me here. Howie Roseman has put Jalen Hurts in a tremendous position to succeed. Tremendous. He's given him A.J. Brown. He's given him Devontae Smith. He's given him Saquon Barkley. He inherited Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. He's inherited a masterful offensive line, and they've continued to add to that offensive line. Howie Roseman has done right by Jalen Hurts. There are some organizations. There are some organizations that we look at their team, we look at them from the top down, and we say, you know what? That owner, that GM has not done right by that player. A la Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Right? A la the earlier years of Donovan McNabb. Donovan McNabb should have played with more weapons than Terrell Owens. He should have had more guys to throw the ball to. Now, he did play with Deshaun Jackson. He did play with Jeremy Maclin for a brief time. But I'm talking about in his heyday, in his prime. Donovan McNabb should have played with more talented guys than the guys he played with. I'm sorry. No disrespect. His most talented guy he played with outside of Terrell Owens was Brian Westbrook. That's a running back. So Howie Roseman has time and time again done right by Jalen Hurts. And he's made it where as though, Jalen, if things don't go right, you can't look at me. So now we get to the head coach. And Nick Sirianni, although he has a very strong winning record as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach, when it really came time for him to really rally the troops, when it really came time for him to be a leader amongst grown men, if you ask me, he has failed. And we have 22 games. We have 22 games of film that proves that. Over the past 22 games of football, we have questioned Nick Sirianni's decision-making. We have questioned his leadership. We have questioned his maturity. We have questioned his ability to just get through a damn press conference. We have questioned a lot as it pertains to Nick Sirianni. But Harry Roseman, has he had his fair share of questions throughout the years? Sure. But Harry Roseman has finally landed on stable ground where Harry Roseman has been a magician over the past, 3 or 4 seasons? So now we get to this season. Now we get to what's going on right now. Jalen Hurts, once again, is dealing with turnover issues. Once again. And I'm not understanding why. But then I thought long and hard about this. Pause. I thought about this. And I said to myself, hold on, wait. The answer is rather simple. It's simple. I said to myself, the Eagles already have the answer to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. They have the answer. I said this. I'm sitting on the couch last night. I'm watching horror movies. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's October. You know, I like to get into the Halloween spirit. You know, in October, all I watch is horror movies. I don't really watch horror movies all year. I don't really watch horror movies on the regular. But in October, that's all I'm watching is horror stuff. Horror, thriller, suspense, science fiction, you know, myth, magic, mysticism. I'm sitting on the couch and I'm thinking to myself, this shouldn't be this complicated. Why haven't they done right by this brother over the past 22 games? Why are they overcomplicating things? And again, so I said to myself, the Eagles already have the answers to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. And it's very simple. The answer is, and you guys know this already. Some of you guys probably know this already. Let me ask you guys this as a matter of fact. What do you guys think should be the answer or is the answer for Jalen Hurts' turnover issues? What do you guys think is the remedy? What's the cure? What's the elixir? What's the potion? What's the medicine? What's the resolve? How can we fix Jalen Hurts' turnover issues? Like I said, I think it's very simple. One of you guys already said it. 2 of you guys said it. 3 of you guys actually. 4 of you guys actually. Philly 4-4, K-Strike, Zay, Ray Bailey, Chaotic Green, Anthony Thompson. You guys are nailing it. The cat's out of the bag. You're nailing it. Run the damn ball. I'll say it one more time for the kids in the back. Run the damn ball more. Follow me here. We're going to get into this. We're going to deep dive into this. We're going to get into this. And we're going to get into grave detail. So make sure you guys lock in. Smash that like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the show, especially if you're new. James Jones, I'm glad you're here, James Jones. Pay attention. We're going to break this down clearly and succinctly. Don't get cocky, James, or the mighty will fall. Pay attention to the program, James. Don't let the stat sheet fool you. Take it at face value. We're going to break this down beautifully. Once again, smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. If you're new, you guys are tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Let's get into it. On the season, Jalen Hurts is averaging 33 pass attempts per game. Not bad, actually. 33 pass attempts per game. I don't mind that number. Let me make that clear. On the season, Jalen Hurts is averaging 33 pass attempts per game. He threw 34 attempts in Green Bay, and I'm going to get to your comments, and I'm going to get to your super chat. I'm going to get to all of them, you guys. Let me get through this. In Green Bay, he threw the ball 34 times. In Atlanta, he threw it 30 times. Against New Orleans, he threw it 38 times. Against Tampa Bay, he threw it 30 times. So that averages out to 33 pass attempts per game. He's also completing 68% of his passes, although he has a disappointing 4 passing touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the season. Meanwhile, Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game, which actually isn't a terrible number. 18 rush attempts per game is not a terrible number. He's averaging that, right? Again, add context. In week 1, well, actually, let me slow down. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. I don't want to bury the lead. Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game, which isn't a terrible number, considering he also gets touches in the passing game. So you can make an argument Saquon Barkley is averaging north of 20 touches per game, if you include the passing game. But we're focusing on the run game right now. Follow me here. Stay focused. Saquon Barkley is averaging 18 rush attempts per game. But the problem is that his rush attempts have steadily been decreasing since week 1 of the NFL season. But if you look at it deeper, his production hasn't diminished. As a matter of fact, one could argue Saquon Barkley's production has gotten better every week. One could argue his production has increased exponentially every week. But the Eagles are not taking full advantage of what they're getting from their franchise running back. Let me just show you guys what I'm talking about here. Or tell you guys rather. In week one, Saquon Barkley had 24 rush attempts. Now remember, they didn't really start getting in the ball until second quarter, third quarter, but he had 24 rush attempts in week 1 against the Green Bay Packers. In week 2 against the Atlanta Falcons, Saquon Barkley had 22 rush attempts. In week 3 against New Orleans, he had 17 rush attempts. Remember, both of those games, Atlanta, New Orleans, we complained. Why isn't Saquon touching the ball early enough? Why are we waiting until second, third quarter to get Saquon Barkley involved? And then we get to week 4, the catastrophic loss. Only 10 carries for Saquon Barkley. Now let's get into the yardage. Let's get into the averages. This is where things get interesting because, like I said, one could argue, although Saquon Barkley's rushing attempts have diminished week after week, his production has increased exponentially. Follow me. Week 1, 24 rush attempts, 109 rushing yards, averaged 4.5 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. Week 2, 22 rush attempts, 95 yards, averaged 4.5 rushing yards per attempt. Okay, he's on pace. He's consistent. Now we get to week 3 and week 4. Week 3, Saquon Barkley, 17 rush attempts, 147 yards, averaging almost 9 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. And then you get to week 4, 10 carries, 84 rushing yards, averaging almost 9 yards, averaging 8.5 rushing yards an attempt. Back-to-back weeks, he broke a 50+ yard run. Week 3, 65-yard run. Week 4, 59-yard run. So what I'm trying to say is here, Saquon Barkley's touches, his rushing attempts have been diminishing, but his production has continued to rise. One could argue he's actually starting to hit his stride. He's getting better. So why aren't the Philadelphia Eagles taking full advantage of that? I'll even throw in Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell's rush attempts are terrible. On the season, Kenny Gainwell only has 5 rush attempts through 4 games. 5 rush attempts through 4 games, while Jalen Hurts has 42 rush attempts through 4 games. Jalen Hurts is basically averaging 10 rush attempts a game. For me personally, I don't like that differential. I don't like the fact that you have Kenny Gainwell with only 5 rush attempts and you have Jalen Hurts with 42 rush attempts. I don't like that. I don't like that differential. I apologize if you guys are experiencing any connectivity issues. I'm sorry if the thing is buffering a little bit for you guys. My bad. Things will settle in. But like I said, I don't like that differential. 42 rush attempts from Jalen Hurts, only 5 from Kenny Gainwell. That gap needs to be closed. I understand Jalen Hurts is a mobile quarterback. You know, when things break down, sometimes he takes off. I get that. It's a part of the game. I'm not taking that away from him. But some of the design runs are frustrating for me. But I don't want to get sidetracked here. Saquon Barkley is declared 3-down running back, right? He's declared number 1 running back. We know this. So by all means, feed Saquon Barkley. I don't want people to get me misconstrued here. I'm not trying to take touches away from Saquon Barkley and get Kenny Gainwell more involved. That's not what I'm saying here. Just follow me and hear me out. We know Saquon Barkley is declared number 1. We want Saquon Barkley on the field at all times if we can help it. If he's healthy, if he has his wind, if he has his legs, get him out there. If he just broke a 50, 60-yard run, let him hit the oxygen tank. Whatever he got to do what he got to do. Let him get right and put Kenny Gainwell out there. But again, Barkley's declared number 1 running back. But you have to factor in Gainwell into this game plan. And like I said, Jalen Hurts' rush attempts have not been that effective. If you guys are just joining the live stream, we are discussing the answer, the simple fix to Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. And that answer is the running game. Follow me. You got some people who argued, like James Jones earlier. Not James Jones. What's my man's name? What's my man James? Yeah, James Jones. James, when I said the answer is the running game, James retorted and said, well, y'all did that last week. James. This is when we get to watching the film and rewatching games and pay attention to decision-making and plays and how they happen. At face value, when you look at the stats, you say to yourself, hold on, wait. Tone, I don't get it. The Philadelphia Eagles do run a balanced offense. They have 132 pass attempts on the season, and they have 120 rush attempts on the season. That's pretty balanced to me, Tone. I don't understand. What do you mean? How is the running game the answer? The Eagles run a balanced offense. Okay. I'm about to break that down for you and explain to you why the Philadelphia Eagles are not running a balanced offense as much as we think they are. Smash that like button, you guys. I appreciate the support. At face value, the stats say they're a balanced offense, but the reality is they are not. They do not run a balanced offense. In fact, there is no rhythm to what they do. They are struggling to sustain drives because of turnovers. They are struggling to sustain drives because they can't get out of the first series. If you ask me, if you want the Jalen Hurts turnovers to decrease, if you want the Jalen Hurts turnovers to stop, lean on the running game more. Lean on Saquon Barkley more. Lean on Kenny Gainwell more. Let's go back to that Bucs game. I'm about to add some context to this. In the Bucs game, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the ball on 7 of the Philadelphia Eagles' first 9 offensive plays. I'll say that again. On 7 of the Eagles' first 9 offensive plays, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the ball. I ask, how does that help him? How does that help the offense get into a rhythm? Regardless of how talented a quarterback is, passing the ball does not have a higher chance of success compared to running the ball. Running the ball is always the safest option from getting to point A to point B. Now, fumbles happen, but fumbles are less likely than interceptions. When you throw the ball, now the ball is at the mercy of gravity. It's at the mercy of variables. It's at the mercy of the defender or a tip ball at the line or the offensive line blocking. There's so many variables that go into a football going from quarterback to receiver. The snap can get wrong. Or things can go wrong with the snap. The quarterback can get a strip sack. Or the ball can get tipped to the line. It can get tipped in traffic. You're trying to fit the ball into a keyhole, right? So, again, in that Bucs game, Jalen Hurts dropped back to pass the football on 7 of 9 of their first offensive plays. 7 of their first 9 offensive plays. You have one of the best offensive lines in the league, if not the best. Why not lean on that? You have one of the best running backs in the league. Why not lean on that? Everybody knows if you want to open up the pass game, run the ball. It's never been the other way around. Why does this Nick Sirianni-led team, why are they trying to convince us that you pass to run? No, you run to pass. You have to earn the right to pass the ball. You know how they always say, hey, edge rushers, D-line, y'all got to earn the right to rush the quarterback. You want to rush the quarterback? Stop the run. You got to earn that. Same thing goes for the offense side of the ball. Hey, you want to pass the ball? You got to earn it. Run the ball. Open things up. We've watched game after game after game after game. The Philadelphia Eagles have failed to get their running game involved early. Now, some people may say to me, right? Some people may say this to me. Hey, Tone, Jalen Hurts, he's a veteran. What do you mean? Like, he can't pass the ball. What are you talking about? Jalen Hurts is a bum. Like, I told you he can't pass the ball. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He's not Josh Allen. He's not this person. All this kind of stuff, right? What do you mean run the ball? He's getting paid $50+ million a year. I'm not paying him $50 million a year to run the ball. What a lazy perspective. What a lazy perspective. First and foremost, everybody on the football field is getting paid. You're paying Jalen Hurts the market rate. You're paying Saquon Barkley the market rate. You're paying A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith the market rate. You're paying Dallas Goedert the market rate. You're paying your offensive line the market rate. So why does why does the game plan or what I do to win football games ever have to go back to the money? I hate when people say, hey, he's getting paid $50 million a year. He should be able to do this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, it's the market. The money should never, ever come close to what your game plan is. And I feel like for some reason, the Philadelphia Eagles have been trying to validate Jalen Hurts' contract by trying to turn him into this ultra passing quarterback, right? And again, going back to his attempts, he's averaging 33 attempts on the season right now. I like that number. That's not a bad number at all. And Jalen Hurts is going to have to pass the ball, especially when you get deeper into the playoffs and you gotta make things happen, depending if you're down, 2-minute drill, whatever it may be, right? He's going to have to pass the ball. I'm not trying to absolve Jalen Hurts of responsibility. I'm not trying to absolve Jalen Hurts of having to pass the ball. I'm not trying to put training wheels on his offense. I'm not trying to do that. But everyone knows when you got one of the best offensive lines in the league, when you got one of the best running backs in the league, run the ball, open up the pass game, get the defense off balance. Everybody knows getting your running game involved earlier in the game will slow down the blitz. Now we know the blitz has been something that has plagued the Philadelphia Eagles for the past couple seasons, in particular Jalen Hurts. Over Jalen Hurts' career, he's actually struggled against the blitz. Never really been that good against the blitz. But this year, he's actually more accurate against the blitz than he's ever been, which shows the strides he's made. But again, you want to help your quarterback more? You want to help him? You want to help him deal with the blitz? You want to slow down that blitz? You want to make teams pay for blitzing your quarterback? You run the football. I bet you they'll slow down blitzing then. Running the football earlier in the game will slow that blitz down. It will also open up the play action game. And just maybe the RPO game, the RPO plays will be more effective. If you punch defenses in the mouth early, if you let them know what it is early, if you let them know what you're working with early, oh, we're having a whole different conversation. You punch defenses in the mouth early, it exponentially increases your success. The running game increases the success rate of your pass game and your overall offense exponentially. Exponentially. I was watching that Seahawks Lions game. Jared Goff only threw the ball 18 times. He went 18 for 18. He was efficient, effective. He was lighting them up. He only threw the ball 18 times. In Detroit, they got Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. You better believe their running game is a part of what they do. You better believe that they're protecting their quarterback with their running game. You better believe that they're making their quarterback's job easier. They're making their quarterback's job easier by incorporating the running game, by being physical. The Eagles want to be finesse so damn bad. That's not how we've been built. That's not who we are. That's not the essence of Philadelphia football. Fuck finesse. It's about punching dudes in the mouth and letting them know what's what. Like I said, getting your running game involved earlier in the game, it'll open up the play action. It'll slow down the blitz. It'll make your RPO plays more effective. It will allow you to sustain drives. It will allow you to tire out the opposing defense. And on top of that, oh, the most beautiful part about it, follow me here, y'all. The most beautiful part about it, you want to know who benefits the most from your running game? Oh, man. Y'all, we better get into it. You want to know who benefits the most from your running game? And I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all know this. Hey, let me ask y'all before I say, who benefits the most from the running game? Who benefits the most from a successful running game? Chaotic. There we go, chaotic. There we go. You get your running game going. You sustain drives. You tire off the opposing defense. You know what that does? it repays. It repays your defense for getting a stop or forcing a turnover. This Eagles offense has not been repaying the defense. Now, granted, today is not about the defense. Is the Eagles defense going through issues? Absolutely. They have struggles. They have issues. We know that. That's not what we're talking about here today, right? We're talking about the running game. The running game will help your defense, especially when they're not that good, when they're still developing, when they're still trying to figure out who they are and who they want to be. If your defense is struggling a little bit, but they got you a stop, you got to repay them. Run that ball, which is going to open up your passing game, which will give Jalen Hurts way more windows to attack, which will allow his receivers to get open way more, which is going to keep the defense off guard, the opposing defense off guard. You got to repay your defense when they do help you. You got to repay your defense when they do get a stop. That was my problem with that Saints game. That defense played lights out all day in that Saints game, and that offense did not repay them. Nick Sirianni did not repay them. Kellen Moore did not pay them back for their efforts. You can't do that. You can't do that. Green Bay, same thing. Eagles and Jalen Hurts turned the ball over on 2 back-to-back drives. You know what defense did? They got to stop in the red zone, held them to 3 points. They paid you back. Why don't you pay them back? I understand the defense is not that good, but you got to help them get good. You got to help them get good. You got to help them grow by sustaining drives and putting them in optimal situations. You can't go 3 and out in your own territory, punt the ball, and then make your defense play defense at the 50-yard line. Are you kidding me? Are you smoking dope? Like I said, running the ball is going to help your defense. Big facts. We have to play complementary football. The Eagles have not been playing complementary football at all. At all. I watch so much football. I'm looking at all these other teams. I'm looking at the Lions. I'm looking at the Chiefs. I'm looking at the Ravens. I'm looking at so many teams, right? And I'm saying to myself, damn, look at defense helping Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Wow. Look at the Lions offense helping that Lions defense. Look at that. Ain't that something? Look at the decision making. I'm saying all these coaches get their running game involved, being creative, using a running back in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? The screen game, whatever it is, they're being creative with the running game, getting it involved. You get that running game involved, and by proxy, the turnovers will decrease, and they likely won't be a factor. Too often, we've seen the Philadelphia Eagles come out and they try to go out guns blazing. Guns blazing. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, pass, pass. And they've had no success. They haven't scored a single point in the first quarter all season. I'll say that again. They have not scored a single point through 4 weeks. They have not scored a single point in the first quarter all season. And they're the only team to do so or not do so, however you want to slice that. Too often, we've seen drives start just like this. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Pass, run pass. Where I come from, the way I learned the game, it's run, see what you get. And if you get second and moderate, second and short, you run it again. If you run on first down and you don't get yards, okay, now we're passing the ball on second and third down. Or just maybe if you don't lose yards, You might run it again on second down, and then you'll pass it on third. That's the football I learned. You run to set up the pass. You run the ball to get your offensive line going forward to inflict punishment on the opponent. You're paying Saquon Barkley $13, $14 million a year. Let the man cook. You got Kenny Gainwell right there. Throw him into the mix. Kenny Gainwell only got 5 carries on the season? Only 5? Something's not right here. Pass, run, pass. Pass, run, pass. Pass, pass, run. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, 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 run. What did I say to y'all earlier? In that Bucks game, out of the Eagles' first 9 plays, the Eagles' first 9 offensive plays, they passed the ball 7 times. The Eagles' first 9 plays, they ran the ball only twice. And the Buccaneers blitzed you. They dropped 21 points in the first quarter, 24 points in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. They blitzed you. They was taking your defense to the woodshed. So you know what that means? Okay, you got to cut these possessions down. You got to sustain drives. You got to let your defense get some rest. It's hot out there. It was over 100 degrees out there. And you had your defense out there on a dummy mission because you didn't want to get the running game involved early enough. You didn't want to set the tone. You didn't want to be the most physical. You wanted to be finesse out there. Pass, pass, pass. Pass, run, pass. What are we doing? What sense does that make? Follow me here. We're having some fun today. And look, everyone has their own opinion of Jalen Hurts. I'm not here to sway you. I'm really not. I'll be honest. I'm not here to sway those who have there are people out here, there are people in the live chat, there are people in the world who have already made their minds up by Jalen Hurts. Quite frankly, there's nothing Jalen Hurts can actually do to change their minds. They claim it is, but it's really not. There are a lot of people who have already made their mind up about Jalen Hurts. They made their mind up. Simple as that. And that's fine. I'm truly not here to convince anybody. If you think I'm trying to convince you, it's not that show. I'm not trying to convince you at all. Believe what you want to believe. That's cool. It's football, it's sports. I don't really care. But again, like I said, pass, 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 run, pass. What sense does that make? Doesn't make any sense at all. Not at all. Check this out. If you throw an incompletion on first down, immediately your team is off schedule. If you throw a pass and it's incomplete on first down, immediately your team is off schedule. And likely they will face a potential 3rd and long situation. That's avoidable. And look, I'm not saying every time you give Saquon the ball, he's going to automatically break it open, but he got the possibility to do so. One thing I will say, again, like I said to you guys, Saquon Barkley, his production has been increasing exponentially every week. The first 2 weeks, he was averaging 4 yards a carry, 4.5 yards a carry. These past 2 weeks, he's been averaging over 8 yards a carry. He's been breaking big run after big run. He's been your offense, if we're being honest. So I'm sorry. I trust Saquon Barkley on first down. On first down, Saquon Barkley is getting me at least 3 yards. So if I know at minimum Saquon Barkley is going to give me 3 yards on first down, shoot, he might get me 4, 5, or 6. He could put me in second and medium. He could get me in second and short. With that offensive line, come on now. So again, if you throw an incompletion on first down, that instantly takes your team off schedule. It gives the defense the leverage because now they've earned the right to rush the passer. When you're constantly in second and long, third and long, teams are going to blitz you because now they have space and opportunity to get to your quarterback before he can diagnose what's in front of him. The further you are from that first down marker, the easier it is for teams to blitz you because they know you have a long distance to travel just to get to that first down. They're playing the odds. You know what? I believe my 6-man or my 5-man blitz will get home before Jalen Hurts and the Eagles can get to that first down. It's very simple. I'm sorry. Y'all. I'm so sorry that we're having such a mundane conversation. I'm sorry that this is mind-numbing, at least for me, because the game is not that difficult to understand. Football is not that difficult to understand. And quite frankly, it's easy to figure out. I'll say this. If it's relatively easy for me to figure something like this out, I have a hard time believing that the Eagles can't figure this out. Unless they are flat out being stubborn, arrogant, and not reading the tea leaves. Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, I'm calling you out today, Thursday, October 3rd. I'm calling Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore out today. Your quarterback is struggling mightily. We know it. Y'all know it. The Philly media knows it. The national media knows it. And the league knows it. Everybody got to wear this. Jalen Hurts has to wear this because he has not been protecting the ball. Period. See, I'm not gonna be like Nick Sirianni, and I'm not gonna be like Nick Sirianni, and Jalen, the turnovers. There's so many reasons. There's so many variables that go into a turnover, and it's not Jalen Hurts' fault for this. And no. Jalen Hurts, protect the damn football, brother. Protect the football. If anything, you got one job: protect the football. Do your damn job. Period. Now, because we have to deal with reality, because we have to reconcile with where we are today, we had to make the necessary adjustments for where we are today. You see, people say, well, Jalen, just stop turning the ball over. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that easy to just stop turning the ball over because sometimes it gets in your head. So, Nick Sirianni, Kellen Moore, your quarterback is starting mightily. The league knows it. You have everything you need to help him. Everything you need. Jalen Hurts has a turnover issue right now. He's a turnover machine. So, because of that, if you see that, Nick Sirianni, if you see that Kellen Moore, you have to help him. You have 2 weeks to figure this shit out. And honestly, it don't take 2 weeks. Honestly, it should only take you a half. It should take you a game at most. Maybe, based off what we've seen over the past 22 games, This shouldn't be a conversation, but it is, and we're having it. You paid Saquon Barkley for a reason. You paid him to take your offense to the next level. As a matter of fact, you paid him to take pressure off of your quarterback. That's why the Packers signed Josh Jacobs. That's why the Ravens signed Derrick Henry. That's why the Chiefs signed Kareem Hunt back. That's why the Lions drafted Jahmyr Gibbs and signed David Montgomery. That's why the 49ers traded for Christian McCaffrey. You see, you can't have no ego in this shit. Don't let fans or whatever get in your head about, or the media get in your head about, oh, this player needs this amount of players to be successful. Listen, save that for the debates. You want to put your quarterback in the best possible position to succeed, be it scheme-wise, be it coaching, be it personnel. You paid Saquon Barkley for a reason, to help take the pressure off of your quarterback. But honestly, that's not what it's been, nor what it's looked like. As a matter of fact, and oh my God, we are about to ruffle some feathers. Stay tuned in. Smash that like button. We are about to ruffle some feathers, y'all. Like I said, in theory, when they signed Saquon Barkley, we said to ourselves, oh yeah, they're trying to take pressure off of him. They're trying to take the offense to a next level. They're trying to help Jalen Hurts, right? But honestly, that's not been the case, nor what it's looked like. In fact, if you ask me, it blatantly appears like the Philadelphia Eagles are treating Saquon Barkley like a fire alarm, only breaking him out the glass when the offense is burning or failing to be successful. They're treating Saquon Barkley like an emergency brake. They're treating Saquon Barkley like a Band-Aid. They're treating Saquon Barkley like a fire extinguisher. That's what they're doing. They're treating him like a fire extinguisher. Hey, you know what? Okay, we're struggling right now. Let's finally give Saquon the ball. How about we avoid the struggle, incorporate Saquon into the game plan early, and then we ain't got to worry about nothing else. Oh, turnover. Oh, we're struggling to pass the ball. Let's run with Saquon now. That's idiotic. That's no flow. There's no rhyme or reason to that. That's reactionary. Saquon Barkley is a home run hitter. Saquon Barkley, in my humble opinion, should touch the ball on first down every time. Every time you got a first down, Saquon Barkley touching that ball. Every time. And of course, maybe you want to catch a defense off guard. You do a play action. You mix and match, whatever you got to do. You move them around, whatever. But in my humble opinion, if it's not Saquon Barkley, whoever it is, I feel like this would be my mantra. I'm sorry. I would never change. I'm running the ball on first down every time. With the occasional switcheroo. Because teams catch on, teams keep up with trends, all that kind of stuff, right? So you want to mix things up. But for the most part, I'm running the ball on first down. I'm getting my running game involved early so I can build confidence with my offensive line, so I can sustain drives, so I can get my quarterback in a rhythm, so I can at least see what the defense is trying to do to me, so I can slow down the blitz, so I can get my play action and my RPO game going, so I can create easy opportunities for my quarterback to rebuild his confidence. And so the turnovers can stop, or at the very least, slow down or decrease. You get Saquon Barkley involved early in the games, and the down and distance will be significantly more manageable. When you're constantly in the second and long or a third and long situation, teams know what you're going to do. Teams know, hey, we got them second and long. 9 times out of 10, they're going to pass the ball. Hey, we got them third and long. They got to pass the ball. But first down, run the ball. Get your running game going. You got Saquon Barkley. You paying him for a reason. Get it going. You got to get Jalen Hurts. And again, we're speaking in the context of trying to fix Jalen Hurts' turnover issues. Okay? This is what we're talking about. You want Jalen Hurts' turnover issues to decrease? Get him in more manageable situations. Get him in second and manageable. Get him in a third and short situation. And watch teams struggle to predict what's coming next. Watch teams struggle to figure out what Jalen Hurts and those guys are going to do. And also watch the turnovers decrease. That's the problem. The Philadelphia Eagles are still predictable. They're still way too predictable. Still. How many times have we seen Saquon Barkley go without a carry for a full quarter or even a full half? And if not that, how many times have we seen Saquon Barkley definitely going to halftime only having about 2, 3, 4 carries? How often have we seen that? How often? Talk to me, y'all. Talk to me. How often have we seen Saquon Barkley go in the quarter or in the half only having about 3 or 4 rushing attempts? Talk to me. So let me add this in too. Because some of you guys are mentioning running Saquon Barkley into the ground and overusing him and all that kind of stuff. Some of you guys are talking about that, right? If you're concerned about Saquon Barkley's workload, then get Kenny Gainwell involved in the damn running game. There's no reason Kenny Gainwell should only have 5 rush attempts on the season. He should be having 5 rush attempts a game at minimum. I'll say it again, y'all. This shit is not that difficult to execute nor understand. It's not. So I say, you want Jalen Hurts' turnovers to decrease? You want Jalen Hurts to look better out there? Get Saquon Barkley in your running game involved early. Force the opponents to respect it. And you'll see a significantly more efficient Jalen Hurts. Now, I want to get to your comments. I want to get to your super chats. I want to get to it all. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the program, to the channel, especially if you're new. Thank you all who are all listening. If you're listening on Apple Podcast, if you're watching or listening on Spotify, right? If you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, if you're not watching it live, thank you guys so much as well. You guys are truly, truly appreciated. It means a lot to me. First super chat of the day, my man, Green Wingman, what's going on? He says, as much as I agree that Howie has done well with player acquisition, that won't mean anything if he continues to fumble with coaching hires, which could be more detrimental during this crucial area of Philly football. Woo! Greeny, that's a good point. That's a very, 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 very good point. You know, player acquisition has been pretty strong over the past few years. But the coaching decisions, the coaching hires have been questionable. And that's just as bad as signing the wrong guy. Maybe more detrimental. So, yeah. Green Wingman, I feel you on that. I see that. I dig that. Thank you for your super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Chris, the Raikage Bruce. I like that. I like that avatar too. He is my man off of Yu Yu Hakusho. It's that dude with the $1.99 super. Thank you, Chris. He says, we've been saying run the ball with Nick for years. Bruh, I know. I know. That's what I don't understand. I don't understand. We've been saying it for years. It's not a complicated proposition. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate your super chat. Professor Chaos with the $5 super. Thank you, brother. He says, Nick's still holding on to his Colts playbook, which was designed for a 40-year-old Phillip Rivers. Exactly. And then, honestly, even though we got Kellen Moore here, why do I feel like Nick Sirianni is still trying to put his finger in the sauce? Why do I feel like Nick Sirianni keep trying to sneak in the kitchen and eat the food before it's done? Back the hell off, Nick. You don't know what you're doing, clearly. You don't. You have no feel for the game. You have no feel for it. Thank you, Professor Chaos, for your super chat. Wingman, Greeny, back again with the $10. Thank you, man. He says, I don't want this fan base to look back at this unique time in Philly football where we had all this Pro Bowl talent and we didn't get another chip due to poor coaching hires, bro. Facts. You know, some people like to act like coaching doesn't matter, but it does. Your coaches set the tone. Your coaching is how the message gets delivered. Your coaching is how your team is held accountable. Your coaching is the glue. They're the glue. Listen, I told you guys this a while back. If the Philadelphia Eagles don't win at least one Super Bowl in the Jalen Hurts era, in this era of football, it will go down as one of the most disappointing eras in NFL history. I don't care what anybody says. If the Philadelphia Eagles can't figure it out with this type of talent, this will go down as one of the most disappointing, the biggest failures, the biggest flops in football history, in NFL history. I mean that. This will be on par with the Buffalo Bills making it to like 3 or 4 straight Super Bowls and not winning. One of the biggest disappointments in NFL history. You got Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You got that offensive line. You got Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert. If you don't win big with that kind of talent, with that kind of money being spent, it will go down as one of the biggest flops, not only in Eagles history, but in NFL history. And I stand on that. Thank you, Greeny. I appreciate you. Let's go to my man. Keep the main thing, with the $4.99 super. He says, Brother Tone, what happened to the RPO? It's like almost non-existent. Jalen's only effective when untouched. He's getting demolished in the pocket. Bro, Jalen Hurts' pocket awareness has to improve. But here's the thing, right? When you turn the ball over that much like he has, you become skittish. You kind of get happy feet, or your clock gets jacked up time and time again. They have to help him repair that clock. They have to help him. They have to help rebuild his confidence in the pocket. He got beat up last game, and he's turning the ball over. You got to help him. Help your quarterback. I don't care how much he's making. He's getting paid market rate. It is what it is. Help him. Help him help you. And that starts with the running game. Thank you, main thing. I appreciate you, brother. Chris the Raikage Bruce with the $1.99 super. He says $50 million can't overcome bad coaching. Facts. That's a fact. Professor Chaos back again with the $5 super. He says our genius coach thought the Bucs would never expect us to come out passing the ball down, all our receivers. Bruh, that's idiotic. That's so idiotic, man. See, this is the problem. When you got coaches in the building who are constantly trying to reinvent the wheel, who are constantly trying to outsmart people, just play the damn game. Just play the game. That's the most frustrating about this Nick Sirianni era. It looks like he's always trying to outsmart people. You know what my mom used to say to me? It kind of reminds me of myself when I was a kid. You know, sometimes when you're a kid, you think you know everything, and you think you got life all figured out, and you think you got all the answers, right? You know what my mom used to say to me when I was a kid? My mother used to say to me, boy, you're so smart that you're dumb. My mama used to tell me, boy, you so smart that you're dumb. You don't even know what you don't know. Nick Sirianni is so smart that he's dumb. He's trying so hard to finesse the game. He's trying so hard to be clever and think 4, 5, 6, 7 steps ahead of the opponent. Just prepare and play the fucking game. Rufus, you feel me? Hey, Rufus, you feel me? That's old school, right? You're so smart that you're dumb. Don't you guys get that feeling? When you guys watch the games, right? Don't you guys always get that vibe? Like, why does it seem like they're overthinking this shit? Why does it seem like they're trying to overcomplicate the game? Why does it seem like they're trying to make Jalen Hurts' job harder? Oh, we're paying him $50 million. Let's make his job more hard or more difficult. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I thought the goal of the coach and the goal of the front office was to make the quarterback's job as easy as possible. But the Philadelphia Eagles the front office actually has done a good job making Jalen Hurts' life easy. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Dallas Goedert, the offensive line. The front office has done a great job making Jalen Hurts' job easy. But the coaches have not. As a matter of fact, the Philadelphia Eagles, you know what's so annoying about Nick Sirianni too? And make sure you guys smash that like button. I appreciate y'all. You know another thing that's really annoying about Nick Sirianni? It grinds my gears when he brings up analytics in those press conferences. It grinds my gears. I don't want to hear nothing about analytics when your team got punched in the mouth. I don't want to hear about numbers and gizmos and algorithms and shit when your team got punched in the mouth. Miss me with the analytics. Analytics don't prepare you to get punched in the mouth. Thank you, Professor Chaos, for your super chat. All right, my man S. Blunt in the building with the $4.99. He said, Tone, missed a lot of today's show. So if this is redundant, then my apologies. What is the order of concern for you? Honestly, S. Blunt, instinctually, if I'm giving you a raw answer that I'm not going to overcomplicate or overthink, my number one concern is Jalen Hurts' turnovers. My number one concern is fixing my quarterback. My number two concern is getting that defense right. That's where I'm at. I'm always going to be concerned about Nick Sirianni, so that's a sidebar. But as far as the issues we have, Jalen Hurts' turnovers, you got to fix your quarterback. That's paramount for me. And then the defense comes after that. Thank you, S. Blunt, for your super chat. My man, Chaotic Green with the $5 super. Thank you, brother. All right, let's see what we got here. He says, problem with running our offense by analytics is the opponent also has that information. They know we're not going to run first. Exactly. Everyone has access to the same analytics. Why are we acting? That's what's so annoying about analytics too, right? They act like it's some secret. Everybody has access to analytics. I have access to analytics. You have access to analytics. But you know what we don't got access to? You know what's unique? You know what can't be replicated? You know what a math problem can't account for? A math problem can't account for somebody punching you in the damn mouth and what you're going to do about it. A math problem can't account for sheer will, sheer grit. Analytics can't account for the immeasurable. Analytics can't account for preparation. I'll say it again. Analytics can't save you when somebody punches you in the damn mouth. Thank you, Chaotic, for your super chat. My man, J Moon with the $1.99 super. Thank you, brother. He says, Devontae Adams ready to go for what we got. Dotson. Oh, man. Devontae Adams, man, that'd be too much. We already, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, we're fine. We're fine. I feel you, though. I feel you, man. I'm not blaming Dotson, though, because Jalen not really throwing him the ball. There are times where I see Dotson open, and he's not getting the ball. So I'm not blaming Dotson. I think Dotson's coming and doing his job. I think Dotson is running all the routes they need him to run. I think Dotson is playing all the interference they need him to play. So I can't really blame Dotson. I think Dotson is exactly where he's supposed to be. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate you. But that Devontae Adams situation is crazy, right? And remember, they tried to get on my man D-Jack about him saying Devontae went out or Devontae Adams went out. They tried to get on D-Jack saying he was lying. Yeah, okay. D-Jack's had hit it right on the head. Devontae Adams wants out of Las Vegas. We knew that when he first got there. The moment they traded Derek Carr, we knew they wanted out. We knew he wanted out. Anyway, thank you, Jay, for your super chat, brother. And my last super chat here with Fanny. Fanny, the Eagles fan. Thank you, girl. I appreciate you. With the $2, I appreciate you. She says, no consistency, no crown. Coaching matters. 100%. 100%. Coaching is paramount. Paramount. It's paramount. You got it. So much goes into football. Trust is at the core of football. Trust is at the core of Super Bowl winning teams. Hey, listen, you know how they tried to pit Bill Belichick and Tom Brady against each other all them years? Remember that? You know how they tried to say, hey, Tom Brady doesn't like Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady are beefing. You know how they tried to do that? You want to know the one thing that was not compromised through all the BS that the media tried to spew? Trust. Sure. Did Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have days where they argued? Did they have days where they hated each other? Absolutely. But you want to know the one thing that didn't stop, the one thing that was never compromised? Trust. Tom Brady knew he can trust Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick knew he could trust Tom Brady. Where's the trust between Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni? Where's the trust? Jalen Hurts, it's obvious. It's evident. He don't like that man. He don't want that man in the building. Jalen Hurts does not trust Nick Sirianni. It's obvious. It's obvious. Stop trying to piss on us and tell us it's raining. Pause. Trust is at the core of football. There are too many variables in this game for trust not to be at the forefront. The quarterback has to trust his receiver. The running back has to trust his offensive line. The D-line has to trust their linebackers. The linebackers has to trust the DBs. It's a reason people are playing behind each other. You want to know why? Because that group has to have that other group's back. The essence of football is having your brother's back. The essence of football is having your quarterback's back, having your coach's back. That's the core of what this game is about. Trust. And saying, you know what? I got you if you got me. This game is too simple to understand. What's going on in Philadelphia? What's going on in Nick Sirianni's head? This game is too simple. Fanny, thank you for your super chat. I really do appreciate you. We got another super chat here from my man B More. B More, the OG, triple OG, hold it down on the West Coast. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your $10 super chat, big dog. He says, Tone, my thoughts. The reason why Jalen Hurts has turnover issues is that we are predictable and don't run the ball enough with a run-based physical team. We having flashbacks of Andy Reid early years. Bro, you know what's so fascinating? This team is built like a physical team. You got A.J. Brown. You drafted Johnny Wilson. Devontae Smith is a physical dude. You got Saquon Barkley. You got that offensive line. Your quarterback is a power quarterback. Your team is built to utilize the run game. That's how they're built. That's how they look. I don't understand it. They want to be something that they're not. Get your running game involved. Hey, listen. When Isaiah Pacheco went down with his injury, Andy Reid and the Chiefs, they didn't say, you know what, we got Patrick Mahomes, we'll be all right. We're just going to pass the ball more. You know what they did? They went and got Kareem Hunt. Because they understand the importance of the quarterback having a stable running back, a running back that can do his job well. Thank you, B. Moore. I appreciate you for your super chat. All right, we're about to get out of here soon. Let me get to some of your comments, though. Let me see here. Dank Bird Gang says, Tone preaching right now. Bro, I hate that I'm even having this conversation because this is simple. This is simple stuff. China says, I agree. They are trying to have dynamic plays instead of playing to their strengths. Yo, they're beyond that, China, and I feel you 100%. Beyond that, they're overthinking the game. I love listening to Kurt Warner talk about the game because he looks at it in such a, and I mean this with the utmost respect, he looks at it in a simplistic way. Like he looks at the game in a way that's very matter of fact. He has common sense. He has common sense when it comes to the game. I love that from Kurt Warner. I love that. Nick Sirianni and they have no common sense. No common sense. Just play the game and then make the necessary adjustments when you need to make them. Have a feel for what's happening in front of you. Have a feel for it. Thank you, China. B. Moore back again with a $2 super chat. He says, also, the short passing game. Get the ball out. Another thing. Yes, B. Moore. Perfect. Get the ball out. Loosen up that blitz. Loosen up that defense by throwing the ball short. Let your guys make plays. I feel you on that, B. Moore. Anthony Thompson said, Jalen said him and Nick have their moments. Bro, when he said that, I'm like, oh, they really got issues. And it's not a secret anymore. It's not a secret. He didn't elaborate on that question. Jalen Hurts could have said anything when he was asked that question. He said, we have our moments. That was intentional. You notice how Nick Sirianni always going above and beyond to protect Jalen Hurts or have his back or whatever? And I think that's just who Nick Sirianni is. Regardless of how you feel about him, I will say he always has his players back. I will say that in terms of protecting them, whatever, trying to. I will give him that. But you notice how Jalen Hurts, he don't give him that same love. He don't give him that same courtesy. You think that's an accident? You think that's happenstance? You think that's just a coincidence? Jalen Hurts don't like that, man. Philly 007 says, this team is not connected. Brother, I couldn't agree with you more. Who are they? What's the identity? What are you trying to accomplish? My man B Moore back again with the $2 super chat. He says, we got yak monsters. I agree 100%. We got yak monsters. Get them boys in space Let him cook. Bob Brown says, Tone, JH and Lamar are Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson are similar quarterbacks. Nick and Harbaugh are both CEO style. No. Nick is not a CEO. Nick is a janitor. He's not a CEO. But I know what you're trying to say, though. I'm just messing with you. Nick and Harbaugh are both CEO style coaches. Baltimore hired Monken for OC, let Lamar be Lamar, while Howie hired Moore to turn Jalen Hurts into Dak. That's interesting. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that entirely. I'm not going to debate you on it, though, but I don't know if I agree with that. All right, let's see what we got here. Keep the main thing back again with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my man. He says, do we know what personal issue Devin White is going through, and is it affecting the team? I pray he overcomes whatever is happening. We need him dearly. I think something is going on, but I think it's I don't know what it is. Something is going on between him and these coaches. I don't really understand it. He's been a healthy scratch for 4 weeks straight. You mean to tell me you can't find a role for Devin White on this team at all? Something not adding up. So, main thing, I feel you. Something is off. Something is off. Thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, let me make sure everybody taken care of here. Hold on. All right. Philly Flyover says Jalen has been slow as fuck this year. He has. He's been super slow. Forrest Hill says, just admit that Nick wasn't the right hire. Good guy off the field, but we've ultimately won in spite of him. Yes, I agree. I can't argue with you. I feel you on that. I agree with that 100%. I feel you on that. Chaotic Green says, and thank you for the $2 super chat, brother. He says Devin White. He said the Devin White situation is Rashad Penny 2.0. Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy. You might be on to something. That's crazy. You might be right. Thank you for the super chat, Chaotic. Rufus Wallace says, address that, please, Tone. Slay kicked his teammates back in. All right, so yeah, here's my thing about the Darius Slay thing, right? Because I didn't really get a chance to really share my opinion with y'all like thoroughly. You know, I'll be honest about it. I haven't been a fan of what Darius Slay's been doing since that game, man. Look, I'll start it like this. You know, Darius Slay since has apologized to the Eagles fans for posting his career stats after a loss, and he tried to clear the air regarding him appearing on the Michael Parsons podcast, right? And for the past few seasons, it seems as though Eagles fans have grown to be disenchanted with Darius Slay. Whether it be him isolating his performance from the team's performance, or due to whatever he says on his podcast, or his style of leadership, or simply his play on the field, Eagles fans have grown to be disenchanted with Darius Slay over the past few seasons, over the past couple seasons. And he hasn't helped his situation. He hasn't. It just seems fans are ready to dead the Darius Slay relationship. And I get it. And they're ready for the young guys to get a shot, like Keely Ringo, which I feel you on that too. Many believe, actually, Darius Slay has become a liability in coverage and flat out avoids physical contact. I can't debate with you there. There are moments where Darius Slay looks good. There's moments where Darius Slay looks awful. So I can't argue with that. He is not a physical corner at all. He does not want to get physical. He does not want to tackle. It's evident. It's clear. It's not a secret at this point. So look, here's my take on Slay. And again, I know a lot of you guys saw his apology, whatever it may be, and you guys saw his podcast. Here's my personal take on Slay. Here's my personal take. I don't think Darius Slay is a bad guy, nor do I believe he ever means to harm or trigger the fans. But at times, he can come off as tone deaf and just flat out incapable of reading the room. There's never a world, there's never a situation where after an embarrassing loss, you post your career stats. Where they do that at? If you with your homies and y'all get jumped and you say, hey, you know, I got my guy. What you mean you got your guy? We got jumped, dog. What you mean? What you mean you got your guy? We got jumped. It was two of us and 8 of them. I don't want to hear you got your guy. I don't want to hear you did your job. I don't want to hear that. You feel what I'm saying? You ever work with somebody and y'all all working towards a common goal, and let's just say something falls short, right? You got that one person in the group saying, hey, I did my job. What you mean you did your job? We in this together. That's why I love bad boys. I love bad boys. We ride together. We die together. Bad boys for life. Oh, it's my shit. I don't want to see you posting your career stats after a loss. Are you dumb? So, again, he deleted it and he apologized for it. All right. He apologized. I'm a forgiving person. I'm a forgiving person. And he was vulnerable. He said, you know what, Eagles fans, I'll admit, y'all got under my skin. Normally, I don't let it happen, but you guys got under my skin. I can't lie. He apologized. He deleted the tweet, even though it's already out there. It doesn't matter. It's already out there. It's in the ether. It's out there now. So, but he did apologize. I'm a forgiving person. I think Slay is genuinely a good person. I genuinely think Slay means well. I genuinely believe Slay when he talks. I do. He's human. I get that. He has a tough job. Cornerback is arguably the hardest position to play in football. I get it. But discipline and emotional intelligence is so vital in this life. It's important. Let me say this to y'all. Let me not say if. Y'all my people. Y'all my tribe. Y'all my family. So I'm going to be as honest as I can with y'all. There's so much I be wanting to say to some of y'all. Some of y'all, not all of y'all, trust me, not all of y'all, but some of y'all, it's some stragglers in there. I'm telling you, there's so much I be wanting to say to y'all sometimes, man. Some of y'all in the comments, some of y'all in the live chat. Sometimes I be wanting to air some of y'all out. Sometimes I be wanting to just take heads off. Sometimes I be ready to crash out. Seriously. Sometimes I be ready to crash out because sometimes people say something that gets under my skin. It irritates me, whatever it may be, right? Sometimes I want to crash out on a lot of y'all. But I don't do that. I don't do that. You want to know why? For one, it's counterproductive. For two, I have to be a professional. I'm trying to sell a product. And for three, come on, it's the internet. I will never win the internet battle. We will never be able to win the internet battle. The internet is undefeated. The internet is undefeated. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like it's called discipline. It's called having situational awareness. You feel what I'm saying? It's called being modest, being humble, having perspective. I got so much love for y'all. So much. But sometimes people you love can bother the hell out of you. And it's called life. To much is given, much is required. Too much is given, much is required. I will never win the internet battle. When I decided to do content, I opened myself to all the criticism in the world. When Darius Slay decided that he wanted to play football and be a professional, he opened himself up to all the criticism in the world. When you decide to be an entertainer, when you decide to make music, whatever it is, you open yourself up to criticism. You have to take that. You have to wear that. It comes with the territory. It was on the brochure. So how stupid would I look if I act surprised every damn day when somebody says something stupid on the internet? Come on, y'all. Talk to me. How stupid would I look if I expected the internet to act like anything other than the internet? Like, come on. How dumb would I be to come on to subject myself to public criticism and think that it's not going to be there? It's the gig. It's the gig. So when I see certain professionals crash out on the internet, and again, we're human. We all have our moments of slip-ups. I'm not saying anybody is above a crash out. We're human and it happens. But those should be far in between, few and far between. Because every now and again, you got to pop out and show them. But 99% of the time, you got to fall back and let the internet do its thing. You want to know why? Because the internet has a short shelf life. Whatever is popping on a Monday is not going to be popping on Friday. The internet is literally a black hole. Whatever goes into it, it gets eviscerated, and a new thing goes into it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, if somebody says something to me on Monday, it's not gonna still be a thing on Thursday or Friday. The internet, it's a cycle. Survive the cycle. That's all you got to do when you're a professional. When you subject yourself to social media, when you subject yourself to public criticism, all you have to do is remain disciplined and survive the news cycle. It will pass. But when you feed the beast, when you feed the demon, it will never pass. And it will always be latched on to you. Simple as that. But then Darius Slay followed that up with an appearance on Micah Parsons' podcast. Like I said, tone deaf. No situational awareness. I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Saquon Barkley, I believe it was after week 2, Saquon Barkley was supposed to appear on the Dan Patrick show. And you know what he did? He called Dan Patrick personally. Dan Patrick spoke about this on his show. He called Dan Patrick personally. You know what he said? He said, "Hey, Dan, I know I was supposed to come on the show today, but obviously you saw the game. You saw how we lost. You saw how things went. It wouldn't be proper for me to come on this show and discuss anything with you until we get things situated." You know what Dan Patrick said? He said, "You know what? I have so much respect for Saquon Barkley. He is such a classy guy. I have never, ever, I can't remember the last time a player called me personally, not his people, not his manager. I can't remember the last time a player called me personally and said, 'Hey, I know I was supposed to come on today, but obviously you know what happened. We got some things to sort out. I got you next week. Or I got you when we can fit it in.'" That's called being a leader. That's called being a professional. That's called knowing timing and having tact. That's called having situational awareness. That's called having self-awareness. So again, your team gets their doors blown off. Got the doors blown off of them. And you decide to appear on the Micah Parsons podcast because that's your friend. Our families sit next to each other in the games. That's my guy. We hang out in the off season. I'm just a nice guy, man. I don't want no smoke, man. I'm cool with everybody. Slay. And I'm going to get to these super chats too, you guys. Slay, brother, I respect you. Got a lot of love for you. I actually think highly of you. But brother, my only issue with you right now is your timing, and it's always been your timing. Your timing is awful, brother. And I mean that respectfully. Your timing is awful, brother. Awful. That's been my only issue with Darius Slay this week. Timing. That's it. If he would have went on Micah's podcast today or tomorrow or even Sunday night, this Sunday night or Monday, I wouldn't have had no problem with it. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have had no problem with it at all. I'm being honest with you. I wouldn't have had no problem with it. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's the enemy, it's the Cowboys. What are you doing?" Look, I'm being honest with you. For me, it wasn't where he went. It was a combination of where he went and the timing. Come on, dog. Timing is everything in life. I was taught this very young by my father and my mother, actually. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not where you're going, it's how you get there. And most importantly, timing. Timing is everything. Darius Slay's timing was awful. And that's my issue. Have some better situational awareness, brother. Your team got smoked. Bad. And you posting career stats and you going on podcasts talking about CJGJ. What are we talking about? Talking about your own man? Talking about your teammate? No, dog. Your teammates come first. I don't give a fuck how you. I don't care about your relationship with Michael Parsons in the off season. But no, your teammates come first, bro. CJGJ is your top priority. You're supposed to protect that man. You don't go in there and laugh and look. I heard what he had to say. He didn't say nothing crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Slay didn't say nothing crazy. I'll make that clear too. Slay didn't say nothing crazy about CJGJ. He didn't disrespect it. He actually said a fact. But again, timing. You knew Micah was talking trash about your man last week, and you went on his podcast the following week and keyed with him? Come on, man. That's not thorough. That's not thorough. I'm sorry. That's not thorough. That's not thorough. That's not thorough. Where I'm from, you get touched for that. I'm sorry. Where I'm from, you get touched for that. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if my brother get into it with somebody and then a week later, I'm all booed up, key canning with him. Talking about my brother. How that look? How that look? My brother's my best friend. My brother's my dog. That's my ace boon coon. You feel what I'm saying? That's my ride or die. I'll be damned if my brother have an exchange with somebody, and then a week later, I'm key canning with that same person. But that's my friend. Our families sit next to each other during the games. I have a life outside of football. We're in the season. It's time to be about business. Period. All right, let me get to these final super chats. Then we getting out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much for supporting the show. It means a lot to me. Thank y'all so much, man. 63 Mortis with the $2 super chat. He says, Vic wants White, Hobby wants Dean. Healthy scratch? Excuse me. Ooh, Mortis. I didn't think about it like that. You think so? You think Vic would prefer Devin White out there? I mean, I know Harry Roseman loves Dean. I know that part. But you really think Vic wants White out there? Well, you might be on something, because all of training camp, Devin White was the guy. And then all of a sudden, Dean became the starter. Now, I know Devin White was hurt in week 1. That made sense. But all of a sudden, Nakobe Dean became the full-time starter. Like, it was weird. It was very weird. So, Mortis, you may be on something. I don't know. Care the Green says Devin White situation is Rashad Penny 2.0. Oh, yeah, I read this already. Yeah. Yeah, man. But look, we got some things to figure out, y'all. You guys know where I'm at with this stuff. I really, 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 really do appreciate y'all for locking in on the content the way you guys have. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way. I couldn't be more grateful to be in the presence of beautiful people. Thank y'all so much. So make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. Also, you guys, before we get out of here, make sure you guys check out the Chalk It Up Sports merch shop. We got some dope items on there. We got hoodies. We got sweatshirts. We got oversized tees. You feel what I'm saying? The hoodies and the shirts, they come in different colorways. You feel what I'm saying? You know, we got tan shirts. You dig? Gray sweatshirts. We got army green sweatshirts. We got forest green hoodies. We got charcoal hoodies as well. We got army green oversized tees. We got so many different colorways for you guys. And I appreciate y'all for locking in on the show. Make sure you guys go check that out. The links are available everywhere on the channel. The description it's available there. It's available on the YouTube channel. It's on my Twitter page. It's at the bottom of the live stream as well. The links are available everywhere for you guys to support the show and bless yourself for the holiday season. Like I said, I wanted to make sure I kept y'all warm this winter and fall. So make sure you guys lock in on that. I really do appreciate the love and the support. The links are available everywhere on my YouTube channel, on my Twitter. The links are in my Instagram bio. It's everywhere. So I appreciate you guys for locking in. And I'm so grateful for the support you guys have provided me today and in the past and going forward. On top of that, make sure you guys do check out the show, not only on YouTube, right? Make sure you check the show out on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Apple Podcasts. We always upload the shows within the hour after the live stream ends. And make sure you check us out on Spotify where you can listen and watch. So, again, Chalk It Up Sports, the live streams, the shows will always be available on YouTube. You know how that goes. But you can also check it out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you want to check it out after the fact. The shows will always be uploaded within the hour after it ends. So make sure you guys go check me out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Go follow me. Give me a 5-star rating. Subscribe. Do everything you got to do, you guys, to make sure we go up on Apple Podcasts and make sure we're going up on Spotify. And I really do appreciate the love, and I appreciate the support. And we're going to get out of here, you guys. Smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And this has been Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show.